It is time now in the scheme of evolution that man be given the privilege, if it be of his heart, to awaken to the consciousness of himself. This is why you find me speaking to you in strange words, saying and explaining things in a different way in which you probably have not heard before. 50 years ago, this could not have been said. When I birthed on the planet, it was not possible to speak of these things. 1945, a door into the planet was opened. A new state of consciousness was breathed into the mental planes of planet Earth. About 3-4 years ago, one of the great masters entered into the center of the earth, who is from another planet, but we call them, they come by the name of Comoris. They are the Comori brothers. And he took the job of being the seed in the center of this planet. And he is outbreathing from the center of this planet to the surface of this earth information that will become commonplace in time. And these things of which I speak to you as a forerunner, in 50 or 100 years from now, will be commonplace, will be spoken and studied with great enthusiasm and excitement among mankind. The time is not ready quite yet for the multitude. Much has to be done. Much work has to be done. There are those on the planet who are preparing for this work, the same as Jesus had to come and prepare for his day. There are others, and we have met them, at least I have. Some of you will probably walk with this beautiful being and help him as he moves across this planet when his time comes. I do not know whether I will be alive at the time he starts his work. I am here until they tell me that it's time to come home, then I shall leave. We have to learn the truth firsthand. If you don't learn it firsthand, you don't know it. You only think you know it. And this is one of the sad things that I see, even among some of us. We think we know when we only know a little. I am only learning parts of myself. And every time I find a new part, it makes me joyful. And the word joy is mentioned more in the Bible than any other word. That's because when you find a new part of yourself, you're joyful. Oh, what glory! What wonderful glory has come into my consciousness. And the word God soon leaves the phraseology of your own mind, because you know that it is only a word, only a state of consciousness. You begin to want to become one with the great Supreme that outbreathes itself and breathes itself back again. And you want to follow the stream to the budding of life. Walk across the flame, to the dot, to the wave, and enter the black hole and look back upon the world and say, this is what I must master. This is what I must do in order to have the thing called immortality, where I shall live consciously through eternities after eternities as a unit of consciousness that knows itself. And I must build this soul pattern to be exactly the same as the great Supreme pattern, so that I can have a place in this thing called space. And believe me, friends, there's plenty of room out there for all of you. Plenty of room. But you will not have that body until you have gone through the schools. Now, many will go through the schools and will return to be absorbed back into Great Supreme. Stop and think of an oak tree. How many acorns fall from the oak tree? How many become trees? How many seeds has Great Supreme outbreathed? How many shall become Great Supreme? It's not an easy task. It's not an easy road. Your destiny is in your hands. Every man has the right to become what he wishes to become. He can escape into fields of mind that are deluding to the purpose of consciousness. Or he can stand steadfast and he can face himself and he can say, I want to know what I am. And I want to know why I am and what I am to become and why I was created. I want to know this personally, firsthand. I do not want to take another man's word for it. And this is what this humble self will teach you how to do. If you have patience and if your insides hurt enough to want to know. And this is, I promise you, with all the capacity of consciousness that is mine, that this is not the only way to know. If you want to know how many ways there are to know, tell me how many human beings are on the planet, and I will tell you that is the number of ways. But either you go ahead of the crowd, or you walk with the parade, or you drag behind the parade. It's your choice. It's man's choice. It's called free will. So every man chooses by the way he lives that which he shall become. Well, it's time for you to take a 5-minute break, and then we will meditate.